What has been the biggest key for the defense, across this win streak? Has it been, uh, the sacks? Has it been the takeaways? Just what has been the biggest key for this defense over this stretch?
I think just everybody doing their 111. The D line doing their job, LB's doing their job, safety's doing their job. So I think just everybody doing their own job, and then it's all flowing together when everybody's doing what they need to be done.
And just how good did it feel, Sonny, to get that first? I believe it was the first strip sack of your career. Just how did that feel for you?
I mean, it felt great. I remember last year I got snugged for one, so being able to get one this year was kind of especially my first one. It's a blessing. So more to come for sure.
Sure. Appreciate you.
David Fronis.
Hey, Chop, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good, man. What do you think about going into a Monday night game, playing against Pittsburgh, and especially that's an area, I mean, that Pennsylvania area where you played your college football.
I mean, I'm excited. It's definitely close to home, close to where I played college football. So, I mean, it's just another opportunity for us to go out there and showcase, who we've been and just take it one game at a time. So, I'm excited to be, especially at Pittsburgh Stadium. I know it's a lot of history and everything like that. So, I'm excited to be out there.
You mentioned taking it one game at a time. What are the vibes for the locker room as now you've pulled off four in a row, kind of with that mentality of just want to know for each one of those.
Yeah, I mean, so like on a day like today, we're just watching the film, learning from the good and the bad and stuff like that, and then turn our page onto to the Steelers, and whatever happens next happens.
Cool.
Any other questions? I see Travis raising his hand physically. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, thanks, Brooke. I can't figure out the raise hand function. Sorry, Chop. I wanted to ask you about working alongside Zach Sealer when you guys run game combinations, like the pick stunt that he runs. I'm just curious how much his presence on those particular plays helps you as a pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, Zach's a vet guy, so he goes out there, he listens to the offensive lineman, he knows, a lot of where they're sliding and stuff like that. So when he figures out from film and on the field, it's kind of easy for him to pick out games, what's best to run on my side or on the other side. So just having a guy like that inside is kind of a good thing.
It seems like that's a really good compliment to your speed rush because you obviously get around the edge pretty quickly, but the ability to loop back inside off those picks, that's like a pretty good compliment to your game. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. He'll tell me sometimes, Chop, just go, and then sometimes we'll switch it up and stuff like that. So he's always trying to put me in the best position as possible. So I'm glad to have Zach, on the line with me.
Good stuff. Thanks, Chop.
Isaiah.
Another one for you. When the defense is taking the ball away like this, I believe they're 10 takeaways over the past 4 game win streak. Like what does that do for the defense, right? Like from a confidence standpoint, but then also when you think about the future, right? And you think about everything that's coming down the stretch, right? How pivotal will the takeaways be as you guys get further into the season?
I mean, I think it's a great thing for us, of course, on the defensive side, getting the ball back to our offense, like getting the ball back to Tua and A-Chain and Waddle, having those guys with the balls in their hand as many times as we can to get them back in order to score points. It's like, why not? So when that happens, we're excited to give them the ball back because we know they're gonna, make the best of it.
I wanted to start by asking you, did you ever think when you came out of retirement you'd be taking jet sweeps for first downs?
It's funny. We were laughing about that earlier in the week because that was like one of the first plays I had when I was reinstated back in the league in 2018. So it's just like to still be trying to do that now. I might have lost a couple miles per hour going around the edge, but if we get a first down, we get a first down.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'd follow up on that, Darren, just kind of ask you about the tight end room in general. I mean, we saw Greg Dulcich have some big plays in the game. Julian does his work as an inline blocker so frequently. How would you describe the way this tight end room complements each other?
Yeah, I mean, it's just guys that have different individual skill sets that just bring value to the offense as a whole. I mean, you looking at the stuff that Greg's able to do. He's like a running back when he gets the ball in his hands. Is effective in different ways blocking as well. Julian is as good of a thumper at the point of attack as a Y, just relentless that been around in this league. And then, I try to offer whatever I can offer as far as playmaking ability and what I can in the run game and just the defenses you can get when you have three tight ends on the field, and they also have to worry about guys making plays in the passing game. Just our personnel usage is, keeps defenses on their heels, So I think what we bring individually is very effective.
Thanks, Darren.
David?
Hey, Darren, how you doing this afternoon?
Great.
Good, good. So I want to know how it's been now 2 games since coming back from the pec injury. In what ways do you feel either you have moved past it, or does it still limit certain plays at all?
I feel like I've definitely made a lot of great strides. I feel like just with an injury like that, just really gaining confidence as far as just striking how I want to strike. Like it's when it comes to run game and blocking, I feel like it's still a growing process for me. That I feel like, getting ready to go into like a third game, even the third week of practice, where I feel like strides like that to really feel comfortable down in, down out with that is good. But as far as everything that I'm being asked to do, I feel comfortable with doing.
And I also wanted to ask in those moments when maybe like the offense gets away from you, like you know you're going and then not being targeted. Have you ever felt compelled? Because this is how I view it: is you're 6'6", you're a big pass catcher. Hey, even if the look isn't there, you can just go up and get it over a guy. Have you ever been compelled to remind Mike, hey, even if the look isn't there, like I can still go get it.
No, I mean, we have those conversations in between reps at practice as we rep those things, and I really don't feel like I've ever been a person that is trying to over communicate that or demand things from people. I feel like they know what I'm capable of, but I also know at the same time how many guys on our team are capable of making things happen with the ball in their hands. So I feel like we all try to adopt a mentality of not necessarily the quantity of the opportunities I get, but what's the quality of them. Because when we all put quality to each and every opportunity that we get, we can do some pretty good things as offense.
Cool, thanks.
Isaiah?
What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
First question, how have you seen defenses react to your return, right? Like it seems like sometimes they're shading coverage over to your side, and that's opening up other routes for I know Greg and Jalen had two, big catches week previous. So just how have you seen defenses react to your return?
Yeah, I feel like you could see the bit of a bind they can be in because it's like, all right, it can be a little bit of pick your poison, because, they um, see what I've been able to do in my career, and they don't want to take those things away. But you see the ability that 17 has, and please don't take your attention off 28 at any at any point in time. And then we talk about what the tight ends can do and other receivers. You get the ball to Malik, and Jalen Wright, and you just like you get getting hit from all different angles. So I think there are times where you can hear a defense just calling me out when I leave the huddle, but a lot of times, man, they're just like trying to figure out how to just stop us as a whole. But I do take pride in opportunities where it's like I see where certain things may be leaning my way. It's like having some little extra effort to open up a hole for somebody else. So I think makes this team special because I think everybody adopts that.
Cool. And then kind of just on the flip side of the ball, the defense obviously has been flying around, getting a lot of takeaways. I'm curious, has there been any moments in practice that made you stop and realize like, oh, like this, okay, they might be turning the corner. They might be actually legit.
I mean, I was really seeing like what was in place, like the foundation for a shift on them. Like even when it was still like 1-6, 1-5 territory, just the leadership on that side of the ball and how committed guys are to like, all right, if we can just get on the same page and be cohesive as a unit with the coaches, with the communication that we have, just like really locking in on the process, things can change, and then from there we can continue to stack moments. So even before the results shifted, I saw that in the leadership on the defense and those guys over there really following. And then you see what they're capable of doing and their disguises and how many guys are making plays and open field and how they're running to the football. It's really, really cool to see and see how they've changed, they shifted.
Cool. Appreciate you.
We'll go back to David.
Hey, Darren. So I understand it in Pittsburgh, they're using a guy who was with the Dolphins the last couple seasons, Jalen Ramsey, now as a safety more so. What would you think if you got matched up with him, given the role he's playing over there?
I think that's the what makes this league exciting. Like the best times I've had in the league are being able to be matched up against players of that caliber. People want to see big on big. It brings out the best in him, brings out the best in me when there are matchups like that. However, oftentimes that happens in the game. So I'm really looking forward to it.
What has Minka meant to this defense this year? I'll just leave it broad. You can answer it how you want.
Yeah, man, he's been a great addition for sure. In terms of just expertise, leadership. He's not the most talkative guy, but on the field, he's vocal in everything that we need him to be in the communication with the linebackers and the communication with us when we are dropping. And just like a vet of the game, an all pro of the game who's seen everything and has great experience and it's been very helpful to the young guys as well, like Trader and if he's not a young guy, but just bringing those guys along with him as well.
And what are you seeing out of Chop now that he has more reps, more opportunity in recent weeks?
The same thing I knew he was capable of, man. Just that motor that he has, the intensity he plays with, being able to bend, all the things that he does great. It's been fun to see, and I know he's going to continue to build on it. He has goals that he tells me all the time, and I try to hold him to those things. And he's one of those guys that you ain't got to worry about because he's going to work.
Cool. Appreciate it.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
First question, kind of to piggyback off of David, is it kind of surreal for you to be kind of on the field with Chop at the same time, knowing the relationship and how he was the guy that kind of looked up to you back in the day, and just is it surreal for you?
Yeah, for sure. We joke about it all the time because before Chop got drafted. He had DM'd me and said, "Hey, I look up to you, blah blah blah." I forgot what the actual message said, but it said something of that nature. And I didn't see it until we drafted him, and I went to DM him to tell him congrats. And I was like, "Hey, man, look at God. That's how it's supposed to happen." So we joke about that all the time. Every time we take the field, he was like, "Man, this is what we was talking about way back then." Blah blah blah. So yeah, it is surreal, man. It's been fun to go about that journey with him. He's been through a roller coaster the rookie year, not starting off how he wanted it to, and then finishing out strong, and then even this year not starting off how he wanted to, but just having the same great determination each and every day. I'm just glad I could be there for him.
Cool. And then just how impactful have these turnovers been just during this 4 game win streak? I think you guys have 10, which is I think second in the league during that span.
Yeah, for sure. It's very impactful, man. You get what you emphasize. We each and every day talk about how many shots on the ball we get in practice. We got the scout team doing it too, trying to get the ball out on our offense. Just and guys see it and guys celebrate during the week. So on Sundays, it's nothing new. You know what I mean? We cheer for each other on the sideline and stuff, and y'all hear those chants. But we're doing that during the week as well. And when you got that energy, you got that mindset, it just becomes contagious.
And then last thing, what happened to? I thought you were gonna pull out one of the sacks from the kid sack celebrations from the kids. You looked like
So what happened was both of them were like they were halves, so I was just trying to run off and like celebrate first. So you got to get up and celebrate first. Hopefully they give it to you.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Alan?
Uh, Hey Bradley, from my vantage point in my untrained eye, it seems to me that your presence impact on the field is more noticeable ever since Jalen was traded to the Eagles. So my question to you would be, what changed, if anything, in your mind in terms of your role, your responsibilities, and your mindset after that trade was made?
I would say I got the same mindset going to each and every game, man. Just try to be dominant on the field, try to do my job to the best of my ability. When you got a guy like JP who ends up getting traded away, like you just want to, step up a little bit more. And I just had that intentionality of making sure that I'm doing my 1% for the defense plus some. You know what I mean? Not going out of the play to do it, but just making sure I bring the energy, bring the intensity as much as I can. And I wouldn't say it's like ever since he got traded thing. I was trying to do that even when he was here. You know what I mean? It wasn't working out for us as a team, but I just just try to take that role and put a little extra on it.
My other quick question would be, how tired are you guys of hearing about the narrative of the Dolphins can't win in cold weather, particularly against a good opponent?
Yeah, man. It is what it is. We haven't proven that, that we can. So I get why people talk about it. I get why people say things, but at the end of the day, we know what we can do, and we're gonna work, the same way each and every game, and go out there to not try to change the narrative of people, but just try to win a football game. And that's whatever the condition is, whatever the terrain is. We just gonna go out there and Play the best version of Dolphins football that we know we can.
Brew, tell me about the difference between a passing offense and a running offense from an offensive lineman standpoint. Are you guys happier to run block, and is run blocking a little more demoralizing to a defense?
1,000%. It's just like the opposite for defensive linemen. Defensive linemen nowadays, they don't get paid to stop the run. They getting paid, unless you're a nose guard, but you getting paid to rush the passer. So you giving a defensive lineman 40, 50 pass rush snaps, like they rubbing their hands with it, they licking their chops. Like that's their type of day. And they can get 40 plus pass reps and get 3 sacks, and they'd had the best day of their life, but got locked up 37. But if we running the ball all day, that's demoralizing for the defense. They can't do much about that. Don't nobody want to defend the run all day.
Can you see it in the defensive players' eyes that are the fatigue or the frustration or anything like that?
Absolutely. Definitely, like just from how we operate, how we breaking huddle, getting to the line of scrimmage, and like just with our style of offense, like they don't know what's coming. So you can just see it in their face. They look confused, they spook, they don't know what they're finna get hit with. So yeah, I can definitely see it in their face.
All right. Thanks, Brew.
Yep.
Isaiah?
What's going on, Brew? Kind of a similar line of questioning to Perk. Just what's it like when the offensive line is clicking like this? You guys are running over. It doesn't matter who's in front of you guys. It doesn't matter who you guys put back there. Just what's it like for you guys just to be clicking like this?
Uh it's an amazing feeling, bro. Like it's like we having our way out there. We can do anything we want and do anything we want anytime we want. So like it's literally we out there breaking their will and forcing our will on them. Like it's our day, it's our world. We can do whatever we want to. It's amazing. Great feeling.
And then just where have you seen the biggest improvement from Cole Strange and Jonah?
Um, I say just like technique wise, they're like just getting used to this style of offense because it's not a normal offense. It's like it's definitely a couple of offenses around the league who run like the outside zone, wide zone style, and how we run off the ball. And so it just took a little time, and each and every week, like you just seeing major improvement from both of the guys, and they just getting comfortable in this system.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Yep.
David?
Hey, what's up, Brew? What did it feel like to, even though you had Devon go down, to then see Jalen Wright have the game he had, and how much validation was it for exactly what you're talking about of how that O line is run blocking right now?
Um, it was a great feeling though, but like having like whoever back there was, Vaughn, Jay, or Ali, you could be Jeff Wilson, like anybody back there, like I got nothing but trust and belief in anybody put back there. Like all of them some dogs, and they got that heart in them. So I knew Jay Wright was gonna get in, and he was gonna hold it up to the standard we've been playing with.
What are your early impressions of this coming matchup of the Steelers up front?
Uh, they got a solid team. They got a great team over there. They got some solid vets. Big Cam in the middle, like he a hell of a player, Hall of Fame player. If I say so, and so they got solid defense over there, good aggressive defense as well. So it's a good matchup.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Travis?
Hey, Brew, what's up, man?
So Trav.
Hey, yesterday I asked McDaniel about the touchdown run where you and Austin and Big Pat and Jonah and Julian and Jonah pushing Ollie across the goal line for the touchdown run. He talked about like the mindset and the residuals of a play like that. I'm curious to hear the perspective of an offensive lineman from that. Like, what does that say about your guys' mindset and how that impacts an opposing defense when you play with that type of will?
Uh, when we play like that, I feel like that's what little plays like that, extended plays in that way, that's what breaks the defense will. That's what drains them out, get them tired. And on our behalf, that's just our style of play. Like we want everybody to be playing through the whistle, finishing every play, every single play. Like you playing through the echo of the whistle, getting you some extra hits in, somebody around you putting a hat on them. And so I felt like that was just a great display of our style of play, how we want to play every week.
And if I could ask you a question about yourself, bro, I know you don't like talking about yourself very much, but I'm going to ask you anyways. We knew when you got here you could play in space as well as anybody, but man, I'm watching you on these overtakes and wiping out these reach blocks. I'm curious if there's one area of your game with the Miami Dolphins you think has taken big strides from where you were a couple of years ago, what that area might be.
Um, I say just like coming from Tennessee to my first year and this year now,
Yeah.
I'd say probably just my speed of play at center. Like I always played fast, but I've been able to play faster, just stacking the years behind each other and getting comfortable in this game and just understanding how I want to position myself coming out of my stance or different positions I like to put myself in on those long reach blocks or if I'm jumping out my stance, pulling around. So just getting comfortable in different positions and being able to play at a different speed than everyone else.
Great stuff. Thanks, man.
Yep.
We'll go back to Chris Perkins.
You muted, Chris.
All right. Periodically, we've asked you, I know that's the operator here. Periodically, we've asked you how Mike McDaniel has been with you guys. We've noticed recently the jokes are back. And, Mike is always a joking guy, but for a while at 0-3 and 1-6, the jokes weren't there. They're back now. Did Mike ever take a break from you guys with joking around? Can you tell me about that?
Uh, I wouldn't say he took a real joke. Like that's just his character. And so he been still joking around, having his little jokes that he throw in here and there. But it just been more of an emphasis on what was really, really important, what we needed to do. Because like we started off in a bad spot. And so we had to turn it all the way around, make a full 180. And so he's still being himself, but it was just more emphasis on the little details and things we need to tighten up on.
Big week this week, obviously. What do you think the moment will be like going back to Pittsburgh as a visitor? And at this point, do you have feelings one way or another toward the Steelers?
Nah, so the only reason why it's a big week this week is because we got a game and we got to win it.
Mhm. A couple weeks ago, the team released a video of you breaking the guys down in the locker room after it. I believe it was a Saints win. I think you said something to the effect of "No other group I'd rather do this with." Maybe I'm butchering that a little bit, but what has made you feel that way about this group, and is it something that has developed over time being together?
Yeah, I think the reason why I said that is because I'm extremely proud of the way this team has stuck together. We started off, not the way we wanted to, but instead of pointing fingers and um, separating, we all leaned more into each other. We all took accountability. We tried to figure out what each individual player could do better, and we just continue to fight. So that was kind of the reason for me saying that, because I would much rather be a part of a group that leans into each other during times of adversity than not.
Cool, appreciate it.
Isaiah.
What's going on? I just to kind of follow up on that point that you just mentioned with everyone leaning into each other. I just wanted to know how much do you think your leadership has helped in that regard, right? Like you talk to someone like Dante, who obviously speaks very highly of you. And so I'm just curious, how do you think you yourself and your leadership has kind of helped with the guys kind of sticking together?
I don't know. I think that's a question that you'd have to ask the guys. I try to be myself and be consistent every single day, but also bring value in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think I could truly answer that.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Chris Perkins.
Hey, Minka, I'm working on a couple of things here. One thing is the defense, and how whether it's more demoralizing for a defense to get beaten by a run game like you guys have offensively, or does it matter? Does it matter defensively if you're getting beaten by the pass or the run?
Um, I think you don't want to get beaten either way as a defensive player, because if you're getting bombed over the top, every series, that's not fun. And if you're getting gashed for 200 yards, that's not fun either.
So there's no difference, you think?
I don't think so.
Okay. The other thing I'm doing is on Mike McDaniel and his kind of temperament throughout the season. With us, I mean, we all know Mike is a joking guy. With us, the jokes kind of stopped a little bit at 0-3 and 1-6 and 2-7. His sense of humor with us has come back recently. Did his sense of humor ever take a break with you guys? Did he, Brew was saying he kind of got a little bit more serious. Did you notice anything during the 1-3 or 1-6, 0-3 or 1-6?
No, I'm not really analyzing how many jokes Mike tells.
Did his mentality change at all? Do you think?
That's a question for Mike.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Travis?
Hey, Minka, what's up, man? I had a question for you about Weave, and it's something I saw on some content somewhere else. Talked about the way he invests in his players and pours into his players and loves on guys. And I was curious, as you guys are going through that tough stretch versus where you are now, just what you can say about like his like man-to-man leadership and how he pours into his players.
Yeah, I think Weave is a great leader. One because he cares. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that he doesn't just care about the football player, but he cares about the men. You know, he starts off most of his meetings either with scripture or a quote that he's heard. You know what I'm saying that speaks to us as men. So that's something that we value and appreciate a whole lot from a coach. And he also played the game at a high level for a long time, so he knows the battles that we face in the problems that we face on a day to day. So he's always making sure that we're in the correct headspace and making sure that he's instilling confidence in us.
And then when it comes to the production of the defense on the field, you guys are, top 5 and 10 in a lot of categories over this winning streak. I'm just curious if you could pinpoint one or two things. What do you think has been a couple of the things that have really helped you guys turn things around that way?
I think just playing all around high level football. I don't think we're relying on one or two guys to make a whole bunch of splash plays. It's what we're relying on is playing technically sound, fundamentally sound football across all 11 guys out there on the field. Over the last like month and a half, we've really been stressing just doing your job, being in the right position, and the plays will come. And I think that's been a huge part of the turnaround that we've seen. Just everybody focused on doing their job and making the plays that come to them.
Great. Thanks, Mika.
We've got time for one last question. We'll go to Isaiah.
To that end, you talk about the plays will obviously come to you. You turnovers obviously have been, and the takeaways that you guys have created have been huge. Just how big has that been, for you guys during this win streak?
Yeah, I think any great defense is going to create turnovers, whether it's forced fumbles, interceptions, sack fumbles. Um, you know, People always say great defenses don't play a whole lot of defense. You know what I'm saying? You try and get three and out, so you try and get the ball back to the offense and let our offense do their thing. And I think we've been doing a really good job of that, and giving the offense as many opportunities to make plays has been helping us.